We live in a world that can feel like it's engulfed by natural disasters, from fires to earthquakes to extreme weather events. In the U.S. alone, the federal government estimates the cost of just weather-related catastrophes has topped $2.7 trillion over the last 4 decades, with the rate of annual billion-dollar-plus catastrophes accelerating. But disasters are also a market opportunity for companies and entrepreneurs selling catastrophe response products and services to governments, aid agencies, and companies. Just a small part of the $166 billion disaster response industry was on display recently at the Disaster Expo USA product show at the Los Angeles Convention Center. This was the place to be if you were in the market for tents, generators, lights, radios, first aid kits, fire suppression equipment, and of course, unmanned vehicles.
Our product is basically drones, and we have heavy payload drones. We can fly between 100 up to 1,000 pounds payload. And we're using them a lot for search and rescue and different cargo application. We can deliver medical equipment. Another use that we have, we can even deliver a medic, an actual person, to a search and rescue area, to disaster area. Or if somebody got hurt, we can basically bring them back.
If drones represent the newer face of disaster prep and response, there were also older school technologies on display here.
So we make outdoor warning systems. A lot of people call them tornado sirens, storm sirens, wildfire sirens. Really the general term's outdoor warning system. So essentially these are used anywhere where you potentially have a disaster that could occur, where you need to notify large amounts of people outdoors that something's going on. And we've found there's been a lot of questions, in past years of, are these still useful because of cell alerts and phone alerts? What we've found is there's actually been a huge resurgence in the use of them because you can't ignore a siren. If you set one of these off and it's going off outdoors, people hear it, and it doesn't matter what language you speak, where you're from. If you hear a siren going off, you know something bad's happening.
If that bad something displaces people from their homes, there are plenty of companies ready to sell a variety of temporary emergency shelters, from deluxe to more bare bones.
So we make micro shelters that are able to transport to locations, and we do it domestically anywhere in the United States. Basically, these structures can fold down, so they're about 18 inches tall. We can put them, stack them on the back of the semis and send them to locations. So we do that, and then we also provide beds. We provide the single unit bed, which this also has a table and chair setup, and then this folds down to a single bed. Or over here, we also do a double bunk. So you have 2 sleeping beds, and then on the bottom, there's a table and chair setup on there.
And who are the potential customers the companies at this expo are trying to sell to? Mostly state and local governments and emergency response agencies, like CAL FIRE, which oversees wildlands firefighting in California. Nick Schuler is the Deputy Director of Communications at CAL FIRE. He says he's most interested in products that provide the public with the best and most comprehensive fire information.
I'm looking for something that, in my field, is responsible for communications for the department and how we communicate to the public. As I was over here looking at the different technology and the screens that are available and the different data sets and layers that make information available to the public, our job is to really make sure they're informed. And with technology and the use of artificial intelligence, those are the efforts that we're trying to continue to lean forward on.
Of course, with climate change making severe weather events more common and costly, many companies are marketing customer-specific meteorological data.
What a lot of folks want to do is to say, hey, listen, I know there's going to be storms coming in the next day or two. What's the percentage that I'm going to be hit with these types of damaging winds, and what will those winds be, and how will that affect my assets out in the field, right? It could be a wind farm, it could be a solar farm, it could be a distribution system for electric utility, it could be a floodplain management. We're translating that and giving them more quality information to make a decision on.
Tragically, many disasters will leave casualties in their wake. To help medical personnel practice their emergency response before catastrophes strike, one company has an unusual line of products.
So we're from Strategic Operations in San Diego, and we do tactical training. We also do training enhancements for Anybody that would want to, if you can't afford a makeup team or you don't need a makeup team coming out, you can go ahead and enhance your training with different wearable props, body parts. We have shorts, shirts, gunshots, full burns, and then we can go down to mannequin enhancement or amputee actors. These are our amputee sleeves for full blood pumping systems. For stop the bleed trainings, we also have burns these are sleeves that can be pulled on an arm to simulate a full arm burn, a leg burn. We have a bow belt, which can be put on an actor, put it across, put a shirt over the top, and then you don't really need a makeup artist on your training. You become the makeup artist.
The deeper red it is, the more risk it has.
Although most who came to this expo were professional emergency responders, some were also private citizens like Lagaya Kelly, who just wants to be as prepared as possible, no matter what the catastrophe.
Because responders aren't going to all be there, right? I know how they look at the severity. How long it takes them to get to you, is determined by them, not by you. You may think your world is imploding, but they have other people that are in worse conditions. So we need to be able to be our first responders.
As the number of catastrophes grow in this country and around the world, the companies marketing disaster response equipment and services are confident there will always be customers who want and need what they're selling. I'm Saul Gonzalez.